Welcome. In this video, I will introduce permissions and ownership. Commands I will use in this video is chmod and chown. First, I will just navigate to the Linux directory. And this folder is empty. As you can see, there are no dot files or anything. So first I will just create a new file, and I want to show that this file, what ownerships and permissions it has. So first of all, we have this 10 bits here. The first bit is either the directory or the file in this scenario, and the hyphen means the file, the letter D means lowercase d means directory, and this is the file that I have created just now. The next thing I want to describe is the rest of the bits, so this 9 bits at the end, and we can have a grouping of 3s. So the first one is going to be the user bit, the read, the write, and execute. The first 3 bits is belonging to the users. This means that the user can read and write this file, but there is no execution because this file doesn't have any execution permission at the moment. The same thing is with the group, can read and write. So read and write. I'm writing down because these are the bits. So read, write, execute, read, write, execute. And the last 3 bits is going to be for others. So others means it's everyone. Sometimes they refer to it as a world readable, for example. In this scenario, this is a world readable file, meaning that anybody on the system can read this file. Read means that, for example, they can do this to the file, so they can concatenate and it will show what is in the file, but at the moment there is nothing in the file. Let me just put just hello in the file, and when I cat the file, it will show the content, so it will say hello. The next step I want to do is actually change the permissions, but first I just want to quickly describe, because there are 2 ways how we can refer to these permissions. One of the way, symbolically, meaning that we can use the chmod command to change the permissions. So it will be user, group, and other. And we only need to use the first letter of these owners. So in this case, if I want to use chmod, so I want to modify the permissions for the user, for example, in that case, I can say user plus X, meaning the user is going to have an execute permission on the new file. And if we check it, it actually put the letter X there, so this means this file is executable now. Executable is going to have a little bit more meaning later on when I will introduce how to write scripts for the terminal, but at the moment let's just leave it as that this is just one of the permissions that it can be used for a file. If I would like to take away, for example, the write permission to the user, in that case I can do the user minus, because I want to take it away, and W. In this case there is no W, so if I would like to write to this file again, let's say I want to write world and exclamation mark, just want to concatenate to the end of the file, it will say that permission denied. And the reason why is simply because we don't have the right permission for this file as the user. The other things we can do is refer to the permissions with numericals, and in that case we can use the chmod command as we did before, but instead of using U or G or O, meaning user, group or other, and we have plus or minus, meaning we want to add a permission or take away a permission, and we can have read, write or execute, we can use numbers. And for example, if I want to have the permission for the user to read, write and execute, that's going to be a 7. I will show you and break it down in a second. But first I just want to show how to use the numbers with the chmod command. And if I want to do read, write, execute, and I don't want any permissions to the group, and I want to have only write permissions to others, in that case I can use the numbers 7, 0, and the number 2 to the new file. And if I check it, and yes, indeed, we have read, write, execute for the user. We have no permission at all to the group, and we have only the write permission for others. How it breaks down with the numbers is we have read that's equals to 4, we have write that is equals to 2, and we have execute that is equals to 1. If we would like to have the read, write, execute all together, in that case we just need to add together these numbers. So it's going to be 4 plus 2 plus 1, and that's going to equal to 7. So this is where the number 7 is coming in the first place. The 0, it's quite straightforward because we don't want nothing for the group. And the same thing for the write, since write is going to be 2, is going to give us the write permission for others. Okay, I will show another one. This is the usual standard 644 for the new file. This was the default permissions when we created the file. It means that the user can read and write to the file, the group can read the file, and everybody else or other can read the file as well. Who is the owner actually of the files? This is the owner of the file, this is the group, and if I just want to show you where can we see all the users on the given system, we can just simply cat out from the etc plus w file, and this will show us that we have, for example, the test user, and this is the active user at the moment that I'm using, the WGTI user. I can clear the terminal. The next step I want to do is to change to the other user, so I can show that how it is working for an other user. And let me just quickly just show. So what we will be able to do with the other user, this means other because the owner and the group is the WGTI user, and we will only be able to read this file. So I can use the su command and the username, and after I will just type in the password, and I can just use the lsal command, and we can still see the file, but we are a different user. I can just quickly check that yes, we are the test user. And if I would like to just see what is in the file, we can do that because the permission allows it. But if I would like to add or write to the file, in that case we cannot, because we don't have the right permission for this file. I'm just quickly going to create a new file. What happens here, why I cannot create the file, is because we are in a folder that is owned by the WGTI user. So what I can do, I can type exit, and that will exit out from the test user's terminal session, and it will return me back to the WGTI user terminal session. The next thing I will do is to change the ownership for the file, for the new file, to the test user. The test user, and this is the group. The user means that's actually just a singular owner, the user itself, and the group, as it says, will determine if there are multiple users belonging to a group. They can either read, write, execute, and the mixture of the three. Let's just go back to the command itself. So chown, change ownership to the test user, and the test user, the new file. And we will receive a error message because the operation itself is permitted. I cannot do this command at the moment. I need to do a sudo command. Sudo means super user do. So this command, since I put sudo to the front, will execute it as a super user. A super user means it's a omnipotent user. I could describe it as such. This user can do changes that are otherwise not permitted. You need to get a root privilege. So now it allowed me to change the owner and group of the file. As you can see, we have the test user is the owner now, and the group as well is the test user group. And since I am the WGTI user, I became just the other. Yes, I can read it, but I cannot write to the file. I will get the permission deny again. And the reason is that I am not the owner of the file anymore, and I need to look at the permissions for others in order to have a scope what I can do to the file. And as I just demonstrated, we can read the file, but I cannot write to the file. This concludes this video, and for the rest, we'll get to it.